So it was good that I grown up Little League and all that stuff under center, so it bring me back to Little League days. I'm like real life investment. Like I know the most guaranteed stock I got is myself, so put everything I got into me.
Ooh, that's not about football. That's about something else.
It's just somebody that they're able to look at and see and understand, like, hey, we're going through this also, like, or we're able to relate to them.
No, that's incredible.
It's the way YouTube and content creation should be, and professionalism, and when I black out, but I'm gonna black out.
It's some backlash from you putting yourself out there, but when you embrace it, he's just like, this is what it is.
That Shedeur Sanders, over the course of the next 10 months, will be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns.
And that would be counter to anything we've seen from Shedeur Sanders in terms of how he's conducted himself across a couple of different stops in college football from Jackson State to Colorado. And for somebody that's grown up in the limelight, you knew that being Deion Sanders' son is going to come along with a different degree of scrutiny.
You do not get the same opportunity that those higher drafted than you get, and you do not get the same opportunity that those that have been in the league before you.
Did he do? I got one of the first local interviews.
I remember that.
Yeah. I did a one-on-one at his camp when he first came to town.
How'd that go?
I don't think he's John Elway. I don't think he's Peyton Manning or even Eli. But I think he's the best quarterback they have, and it'll just take him time. And I think he's a good kid. By and large, good kid.
My expectations have absolutely changed. Absolutely. My expectations have changed because a lot of what we're hearing from Cleveland has changed. Again,
Different level of why he's so marketable is because he pulls up in these little regular spots and just be showing love.
The second Shedeur Sanders signed that contract, the protective bubble that he has been living in officially burst.
And it's that branding, bro, being a business, a walking business brand. He's a 5th round pick, and he generated damn near well over $300 million already in merchandise sale.
Treatment, just on the field, off the field, just making sure everything's right.
Taking care of everything to make sure your body's right.
Yeah.
That's actually, I didn't even think about that.
Shedeur was my 20th player. He's a first-round caliber player. Like, talent-wise, both those guys, I think, have a huge advantage over Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett has to be light years better.
The information that was out on Shedeur Sanders came from a lot of people that a lot of people trust and people think that are credible.
Shedeur Sanders, he's going to have to earn that money. I think it's brilliant the way the NFL structures these contracts, especially rookie contracts.
And I'm pretty sure I'm going to look it up if that's some type of record. I personally feel that's a record when you look at the atmosphere of it. You look at where he got drafted.
Yeah, you putting those people on contracts, so all that stuff add up.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
The more people that's around helping, and people don't help for free no more like that.
So I'm looking at Shedeur Sanders, and I'm understanding that that man's cerebral mindset is not only on the field. It's off the field, the networking, the building of the brand, the understanding of, okay, the NFL could reject you at any given time, so leverage is always the key.
Team, we're not as good individually, but we're better collectively.
Shedeur seems to overcome every time, no matter how much blitz packages you throw at Shedeur. He's durable. He could take the hits. He doesn't have to be the fastest man on the field.
A 5th round NFL draft pick just made $6 million before throwing a single professional pass. While seasoned veterans are fighting for roster spots, Shedeur Sanders turned his name into a money printing machine that has old school critics absolutely losing their minds. This isn't about football talent. This is about a 22-year-old who cracked the code on modern athlete branding and left everyone else scrambling to catch up. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how he flipped the script on what it means to be a professional athlete in 2024 and why his strategy is about to change everything. The traditional path for NFL rookies is simple. Get drafted, make the team, prove yourself on the field, then maybe, if you're lucky, cash in on endorsements. Shedeur Sanders threw that playbook in the trash and wrote his own. While analysts debated whether he deserved to be drafted at all, he was quietly building a business empire that would make seasoned entrepreneurs jealous. Today, we're breaking down the 3 game-changing moves that turned a controversial draft pick into the most financially successful rookie in recent memory and why his approach represents the future of professional sports. Here's something that should be impossible. Shedeur Sanders' jersey became the #1 selling rookie jersey in America before he even attended his first team meeting. Think about that for a second. Dillon Gabriel, drafted higher in the 3rd round? His jersey doesn't exist. Kenny Pickett, an established NFL quarterback? Crickets. But somehow, a 5th-round pick sitting 4th on the Cleveland Browns depth chart generated $250 million in merchandise sales, with Shedeur pocketing a clean $15 million cut. This wasn't luck or nepotism, this was strategic positioning. While other rookies were begging for attention and hoping to make the roster, Shedeur had already secured partnerships that guaranteed him revenue regardless of his playing time. The jersey drop wasn't just merchandise, it became a cultural statement. Fans weren't buying into the Browns franchise, they were investing in the Shedeur Sanders brand. One fan perfectly captured this shift. "I'm not even a football guy. I'm just here for Shedeur." That's not traditional sports fandom, that's personal brand loyalty that transcends team allegiance. The NFL and fanatics didn't wait for training camp results because they understood something critics missed. Shedeur had already won the most important game, capturing public attention and converting it into cold, hard cash. Most college athletes treat nil deals like glorified allowances, quick cash for social media posts and local appearances. Shedeur Sanders treated nil like a masterclass in business development. That $6 million he earned wasn't from holding products and smiling for cameras. It was from equity deals, media partnerships, and ownership stakes that positioned him as a business partner, not just a spokesperson. The game changer was his approach to the prime equity clause, inspired by his father, Dion, but elevated to a completely different level. Instead of traditional endorsement contracts where athletes get paid once and forgotten, Shedeur negotiated deals that gave him ongoing revenue streams. Every jersey sold, every documentary streamed, every piece of content shared, he got paid on the back end. This wasn't just smart, it was revolutionary. While his college teammates were excited about 4-figure nil deals, Shedeur was building a media ecosystem around himself. He understood something that most athletes miss. Your playing career has an expiration date, but your brand can last forever. By the time he entered the NFL draft, he wasn't just a quarterback prospect. He was a walking, talking business empire with a built-in audience, proven revenue streams, and the infrastructure to scale indefinitely. The NFL wasn't just drafting an athlete, they were acquiring a franchise. The most dangerous thing Shedeur Sanders did wasn't throwing touchdown passes or signing endorsement deals, it was taking complete control of his own story. While most athletes wait for ESPN to validate them or beg Mel Kiper to bump them up draft boards, Shedeur went directly to the people and built his own media platform. This terrifies the old guard because it exposes how unnecessary they've become. Traditional sports media operates on scarcity, they control access, they decide who gets coverage, they shape narratives. Shedeur proved you can skip all that and still become the most talked about rookie in the league. He didn't need Stephen A. Smith's approval or Colin Cowherd's hot takes. He built his own content machine and let the results speak for themselves. The brilliance of his approach becomes clear when you look at fan reactions. People weren't just supporting him, they were defending him. You always say support black business. Then we're buying this jersey. This wasn't just sports fandom, it was cultural investment. Shedeur had successfully positioned himself as more than an athlete, he became a symbol of entrepreneurial success and self-determination. By controlling his narrative, he controlled his value. And when you control your value, you control your destiny. That's a lesson every modern athlete needs to learn, and Shedeur just taught the masterclass. Shedeur Sanders didn't just succeed despite being a 5th-round pick. He succeeded because he understood that draft position is just one data point in a much larger equation. While critics focused on his college stats and NFL projections, he was building something they couldn't measure, a brand empire that generates revenue regardless of playing time. The 3 moves we covered, strategic merchandise positioning, revolutionary nil partnerships, and complete narrative control represent the future of professional athletics. This isn't just about football. It's about understanding that modern athletes are entertainers, entrepreneurs, and media companies all rolled into one. The old model of shut up and play is dead. The new model is build your brand, control your story, and secure your bag. Shedeur Sanders just showed everyone how it's done, and the $6 million in his bank account proves the strategy works. What do you think about Shedeur's approach? Are traditional sports analysts missing the point, or is this just hype that won't translate to on-field success? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one and love hearing different perspectives on how the game is changing. If this breakdown opened your eyes to how modern athlete branding really works, make sure you're subscribed because next week we're diving into how other young athletes are following Shedeur's playbook and the massive mistakes that could cost them millions. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss it.